today I would like to suggest discussing the essentials, specifically vectors and logos, and also provide a small spoiler. Of course, with the help of Leonardo, you can create logos, including vector images, but not without the presence of the illustrator himself, because Leonardo generates only raster images in one way or another, and subsequently we will learn how to properly trace them in Illustrator. So there are numerous images that can serve as representations of the name of a logo, or an emblem for a sports team, or an association, or even a sports club, which I generated in Leonardo. Next, we will traditionally study the prompt itself and then move on to tracing the results. So the bear, the gorilla, and the crocodile, such a crocodile turned out to be. It is interesting, graphic, highly detailed, and up-to-date in its depiction. Initial glasses. Well, let us proceed to the prompt that has been given to us for further discussion. In our situation, the prompt is detailed, but there is that small fragment responsible for the plot of your image that is crucial. We request Leonardo to create a simplified flat image in vector format. Stylized, with simplified forms, bright picture should be obtained, with a color scheme of red and black. This is an important point. That is, you can specify any of your colors here. Maybe there will be more of these colors. Maybe you will decide that it should be, no matter what color the picture is, you will entrust it to Leonardo. But still in these generations, I prefer to specify exactly the colors we need. Next, the most fascinating moment. This is an amazing word, this incredible fragment of prompa, anthropomorphic. It is extremely important to remember it, carve it on your nose, write a cheat sheet, anything. Anthropomorphic is the genre that enables you to combine a human with an animal. And if you ever need to do something similar, or conduct an experiment, or create a fantasy story, then undoubtedly the term anthropomorphic will always be of great assistance to you in this regard. So, what do we have in this particular situation? We have an anthropomorphic bodybuilder, a gorilla, and an angry head. That is, such words, they may not even be strongly connected in some sentence, it is not of great importance. And sports streaming logo. Of course, if you simply require a vector illustration with some more adorable, friendlier, and all these words that are connected to aggression, sports, and dynamics, you will not have any need for them. Change the colors, select these fragments and prompts, and add exactly the meaning you want. Next important point. The story that enables you to generate an image without a background or with a simplified background, that is, prior to this, all the things I created were not only present, and there were bodybuilders, but now I will demonstrate it to you. Additionally, there were cars in that location, which added a dynamic and interesting element. So, without additives and celluloids, we generated images with backgrounds that were quite detailed. If you are making a logo, of course, you don't need these backgrounds at all. So, let's move on to what we have achieved. Accordingly, further we focus in the promo itself on clean lines, simplified designs, open colors, minimalism, and so on. So all of these things are necessary for you in one way or another to create a vector image. So you should change only the colors and modify the plot itself directly. That is, this is the extent of it. Prior to the text being isolated, and at this moment you have received your image, I would recommend upscaling the image so that its resolution is higher, which will allow you to obtain a better image in Illustrator, and then proceed to the application of Illustrator itself. So, where should we begin the process? I actually really like the gorilla. I found her to be incredibly brutal, powerful, and impressively detailed. I desire to trace it, therefore I proceed to open it in Illustrator without delay or hesitation, right after obtaining it. Highlight your image raster, and traditionally this image trace, forget about these trace settings in general, they are disgusting, they give a terrible result. So, what you need to do is go to Window and call the Image Trace Palette. That is the same image tracing, but with a significantly larger number of refinement settings, and so on. There is also an extra set of options available. Let's try to make a black and white logo, accordingly a black and white logo. He does it quite quickly, I probably won't even have time to finish the sentence, here it is already done. But threshold is precisely the amount of staining, that is, how greasy these stains will be. In our particular case, the spots are objectively too greasy, so I will decrease the threshold, let's say to approximately 40 points on the scale. Right away, there is no requirement to press any buttons. The Illustrator himself starts to process it once more. So what do we see? Cool outline, cool black and white outline that can be expanded and accordingly get our vector image. Let me press Command Y to observe that all the garbage that is there, so we can perceive that our image has indeed become vector. You can simply delete all the garbage elements that are here without any remorse and continue working with this vector. Tidy it up, add some color and so on. Let's see how to make a color vector image. We'll explore adding color to a vector image and observe how it enhances the visual impact of the artwork. Certainly, sports logos imply such bright, vibrant, and screaming colors. With them, often cool and stylish uniforms are obtained. That is, you need to use them in order to enhance the overall aesthetic appeal. So for this particular task, we will choose a preset with 16 colors. Having 16 colors is considered a significant amount, especially for printing, specifically screen printing. However, in order to optimize the process, we will adjust this value and set it to 8 instead. Now he must complete the process of tracing with 16 colors in any case, and observe what he will produce when tracing with 8 colors. Honestly, it took me a considerable amount of time to trace. I don't really like the way it turned out because there are numerous colors and a multitude of spots. Some not very neat pouring, so I changed the settings from 16 to 6 colors. We got an alternative, it became much simpler. That is, of course, we have some garbage moments that we will have to go through, but overall the result is much better. And edge expand, that is, we really get our vector image, remove unnecessary fragments, leave only the most important ones. We can adjust it a little and essentially make designs, corporate styles, and everything else. The mechanics are very simple, the mechanics are cool, and now really anyone who understands what they want can create a cool emblem, a cool logo, and release it into production, which is a key point.